mind is a cause of all the suffering and also moksha. Mind can give you moksha, it also can give you hell and suffering right here. So how to work with the mind? How does the mind exist in our system? The mind hai na, it has every day, anybody can tell how many thoughts everybody thinks approximately? अंदाजा से बोल सकते हैं कितने सोच हम करते हैं रोज? 70,000 हम सोचते हैं, 70 to 60 to 70,000 per day, and most of those thoughts कल से पिछले दिन से ही आते रहते हैं, and they go on and round even in your sleep. So you cannot even get escape from the thoughts even in the sleep, and they will constantly bother you. And in fact हम सोचते हैं कि हम माइंड को यूज करते हैं, इस्तेमाल करते हैं, मगर हम माइंड को यूज नहीं करते हैं, माइंड हमको यूज करते हैं. वी आर possessed by the mind, and mind has become a big devil. हमको रोज सताते रहते हैं ये मन. So mind is not, we are not using the mind, but mind is using us. And why is this all happening? So why are we having so many thoughts every day? Anybody can tell why we have so many thoughts? So the thoughts are coming because mind is compared in our scriptures with a thick curtain cloth. It's a very thick cloth, and this cloth is made up of many threads. धागे हैं बहुत सारे. There are many threads in this cloth, and they are all weaved against each other. So it becomes a cloth. So the cloth is nothing but only threads. So if you take off all the threads, one by one, if you pull off all the threads, there is no more cloth. Similarly, if you remove all the thoughts, mind do not have independent existence. Mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. And where are these threads coming from? You should think. The threads are, we know, are made from रुई, जो cotton होते हैं उससे धागे बनते हैं. The threads are made from the cotton. So cotton is the root of the threads, and threads are weaved into a thick cloth. So, and what is this cotton? जो cotton होते हैं वो हमारे मन इच्छे होते, lots of desires we have, मनोकामना जो होते हैं, all these desires are the real cotton. From that cotton comes various thoughts and the threads, and these threads weave against together, become a thick cloth. When you remove all the desires, all the thoughts vanish. The moment all the thoughts vanish, just like you remove all the threads, the curtain cloth simply disappears. The moment the cloth disappears, you are face to face with God. God is right in your heart, sitting as your Atma, your soul. So when all this cloth is lifted, you come face to face with God and you attain moksha. But most people cannot do that because we have so many desires flowing through our system. So one thing is to start reducing some of those desires. One of the ways to do the desire reduction. So if you want to buy a very expensive car, buy a little less expensive car. In that way, what happens is you don't need to really struggle and get stressed out. And also reduce everything. Like instead of having 10 pairs of shoes, maybe have 1 or 2. Clothing also same. In this way, you can reduce all your desires for many things. As you start reducing your desires, you reduce your thoughts. When you reduce your thoughts, of course, you have peace. What the California Psychiatric Department has found is, the more times your mind changes thoughts, the more miserable you become. So when you have a single thought, you will be more peaceful. How to have a single thought? If you have only one thought, you are very peaceful. How do you achieve that? So one thought means you can take a mantra, for example. Mantra is a single thought. When you take one mantra, Ram Ram, Shiv Shiv, Hari Hari, जो भी है एक मंत्र ले लीजिए, that is one thought. So in that one thought, you can repeat all day. एक माला से कुछ नहीं होता है, 2 माला से भी कुछ नहीं होता. हर रोज 150 माला गिराइए, then you see the result. When you chant so much in a day, automatically you feel so peaceful that you don't have any more desires. You feel like very happy and contented. So the happiness is not from desires, but from single thought. When you have no thoughts, of course, it is the greatest peace. When you have greatest peace, you have greatest happiness. So you don't feel like running around anything for anymore. So one of the ways is to नामस्मरण. पूरा दिन करना है. जब भी कुछ भी काम करते रहते हैं, you always say the mantra Hari Hari, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. और ऐसा बोलते ही रहना पूरा दिन. So that is one way of controlling the mind. Other way of controlling the mind is निष्काम कर्म. सेवा करना है रोज. Do some seva without expectation. As you do this day by day, your mind starts settling down, and then you feel more peaceful. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स देयर इज आल्सो द मोस्ट पावरफुल योगा टेक्निक्स, बिकॉज जो माइंड है ना एक बंदर जैसा है, तो उसको एक पकड़ने के लिए वी नीड ए लीश। जो लीश होता है, जो रस्सी होता है, वो है प्राण शक्ति। जो प्राण शक्ति है दैट इज द लाइफ ब्रेथ। व्हेन यू ब्रीथ इन डिफरेंट वेज, प्राणायाम जब करते हैं माइंड इज कंट्रोल्ड। सो व्हेन यू यूज ब्रीदिंग एंड एट द सेम टाइम जाप मंत्र जाप करते हैं साथ साथ में, व्हेन यू चैंट एंड आल्सो ब्रीथ टुगेदर, योर माइंड इज अंडर मोर कंट्रोल। हाउ डू यू डू दैट? सिंपली फॉर एग्जांपल, व्हेन यू ब्रीथ इन, अब बोलना है ओम। जब ब्रीथ आउट करते हैं नमः शिवाय, ऐसे यू हैव टू डू ओम नमः शिवाय, हरि ओम, हरि ओम। यू कैन डू लाइक दैट, हरि ओम। ऐसा करने से क्या होता है, जो श्वास के साथ मंत्र जाप करते हैं, मन और भी स्थिर और पॉजिटिव होता है। सो एवरी टाइम यू चैंट, यू आल्सो ब्रीथ अलॉन्ग विथ योर ब्रेथ। सिंपल ब्रीथिंग एंड चैंटिंग एट द सेम टाइम अलॉन्ग विद द ब्रेथ। जब श्वास अंदर जाता है तो ओम बोलना है, बाहर आता है तो एक मंत्र बोलना है, हरि ओम, हरि ओम।